and we rejoin what has never gone away. We rejoin, we reconnect with that reality which never was actually gone. It's just we weren't seeing it. Have you ever heard the phrase beyond the veil, or pierce the veil, peel back the veil? You've heard this talk about a veil, right? When it comes to reality, what is a veil? Is there a veil? In my experience, there is a veil. Why would there be a veil? We've got spiritual teachers out there trying to reveal higher reality to people, and they spend their entire lives doing that. If you think about the Buddha, or you think about Jesus, for example, they just gave their entire lives to teaching people and to try to peel back the veil for people. I often hear people who have a near-death experience. When they come back from their near-death experience, they often feel like they have a new mission, a new soul mission, to share with other people the reality of what's on the other side of the veil. And in a way, I guess that's a lot of what I'm doing with this channel, is I'm trying to share with people what I've experienced on the other side of the veil. And I often wonder, if what's on the other side of the veil is so dang important for human beings to learn about and to know about, then why is there a veil in the first place? Why doesn't higher reality just remove the veil? It could do that. A lot of people believe that when we incarnate into this body, that we get a certain strategic amnesia, so that we don't remember what's on the other side of the veil. We don't remember our past lives or our higher nature or other realms. We only remember what's happened in this body. That's the veil. That amnesia is the veil. Many years ago, when I was in my early 20s, I decided I wanted to figure out what the meaning of life was, what the purpose was for the whole shebang, the whole enchilada, the entire universe, souls, God, everything. What was the underlying purpose for all this? And that was back when I was living with a romantic partner. We had a 2-bedroom apartment, and I had convinced her to let me turn one of the 2 bedrooms into a meditation room. Basically, there was nothing in there except a cushion. And one evening I decided I'm going to go in there and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to get the answer to this question: what is the purpose of life? And, that's back when I believed that if I really wanted to know something, I could know it. I could get the answer. And I guess I still feel that way. But I think that's true for all of us. And so I went in there and I sat down and I asked the question, and how do you say it? I sent my attention up to where the answer is, I guess you could say. And I got the answer, and the answer that I got was the purpose for the entire manifest universe was for perfect awareness to enrich itself with experience and understanding. The purpose of life was for that which is already perfect to add richness. And that's the best word I could find. To add richness to itself. To add perfection to perfection. And the way that perfect awareness, that absolute awareness, which is prior to the universe and then exists during the universe and then exists after the universe stops existing, that perfect awareness, which in India they call Brahman, or some people call it the absolute. The purpose of life is for that highest awareness to experience, and from experience to enrich itself. That's what we're all doing here. We come here to forget so that we can go through things, and a lot of the things I'm talking about is suffering. We go through this suffering, and the suffering is really based on us forgetting reality, forgetting what we really are, forgetting what God really is, forgetting what the world really is, forgetting what other people really are. We forget all that stuff so that we can have a little adventure. We can venture away from safety and truth and beauty and love, and we can experience all the opposites of those things. And then eventually we return back and we go back home, but we're carrying all of this nuance that we developed, all of this complexity, all of this richness. We bring all of that stuff back home. So another way of saying all of this is that the world is a school. The universe is a school. Good and evil is a school. Good and evil doesn't exist on higher realms. There's only love, truth, and beauty on higher realms. But when we drop down into the forgetting realms, the realms where we progressively are forgetting more and more, then we have the apparent reality of evil. Evil is forgetting good. So in a way, evil isn't an ontological reality. It is just an absence, a forgetting. It is a shadow. Do shadows really exist? No, a shadow is just an illusion created by an absence of light. And that's what evil is. It's an illusion created by the absence of truth and love and beauty. And we experience that, good and evil, and we choose, when we go on a journey with it, and then we come out the other side enriched, but ultimately we go back. Ultimately, the amnesia cannot last forever. Ultimately, the reality that vibrates in every single atom, every particle, cannot be held back forever. And we rejoin what has never gone away. We rejoin, we reconnect with that reality which never was actually gone. It's just we weren't seeing it. Why do people go to a gym to lift heavy things over and over and over with no purpose? You know, when you lift a weight, a barbell or whatever, you're not making food. You're not making art. You're not getting paid. You're not at a job site building something or in an office creating something of value. You're expending energy, tiring yourself for no purpose other than to become stronger, right? We lift weights to become stronger, to get more definition in our muscles and so on. That's what we're doing here on Earth. We're lifting weights, and yes, it's utterly pointless. We're not actually doing anything that will last because this realm is ultimately unreal as we see it. But we're becoming stronger for doing it. We're becoming richer, wiser. That's another word for this richness I'm talking about, is wisdom. We don't get wisdom unless we suffer a little bit. Wisdom is the fruit of suffering. You know, wisdom implies imperfection. It is the enriched knowledge, like sort of like enriched uranium that we can use in a nuclear reactor. That's what comes out of suffering. That blending of knowledge, love, and hardship. That's what wisdom is. So yes, there's a veil. No, it doesn't last forever. Yes, it has a purpose. And yet, at the same time, the goal of life is to see through it. That's the weights we're lifting. Whatever it is that's blocking our vision, that we struggle so that we can see through it, that's the weights. Those are the barbells. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And if you want to keep exploring with me, here's a related video.